What's going on, world? This is your boy at Big Game James _36 or at Big Game James 36. Big Game James 36 too. Both of them are alive and well. And this is Big Games B.S. brought to you by Den Media Group, presented by thehumidor.com and ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. ABC Fine Wine and Spirits is the go-to website for basically everything tobacco related. ABC liquor related too. So like always be celebrating. That's where all my tailgates, basically all the liquor comes from ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. The cigars come from thehumidor.com. Even so much so at this place that we record every day, Goodfellas Cigar Lounge that you guys all know about. This is where we buy our cigars from, thehumidor.com. The price is so great. It's you type in Godfather code and you'll basically get your cigar. We got to buy a box, but you get your boxes for the same amount of money that we get our boxes. And that's basically it. So I want to do a recap on what's going on and some housekeeping here. What's going on, Adrian? We try to get our shit. Like today was crazy because I had to go for another thing that I'm vested in. Alpha Male Jackson's hormone therapy clinic. Get your energy right. We had to shoot a little commercial for it. I'm getting older. It doesn't mean you need it's not even about needing testosterone or anything like that. They give you that, but they do full blood panels. And one of the things I learned to do a while ago was not just go to the doctor for a checkup, like let the doctor see what's going on in your insides, man. Like get that blood panel. They can look at your triglycerides. They look at your androgen levels, your testosterone levels, all these different levels. They check those things out. And then what happens is wherever you're low at, they can prescribe whether it's from pharmaceutical medicines or whether it's some kind of vitamin that you need to take or whether it's changing your diet. We can get you all of those different things going on. And so we shot a commercial for that, trying to be energized. So that's why we're a little bit later today. I like the 9:30, 10 o'clock-ish thing. I thought we would have been done by 10:30, but we also had some things happen that made us a little bit delayed. But here's one I want to say first and foremost. Shout out to Jeff Bell. Jeff Bell got the $200. He got it promptly. One of my favorite TV series is Game of Thrones, and I like to liken myself to a Lannister, and Lannisters pay their debts. So Jeff got his $200. My man Ramon got his I think it was $32 is what we had, even though the likes are way higher now. But we're gonna do some different things too. So what we're gonna do, and I forgot who. Miles, do you remember who won the memberships? I gotta go back and listen to the end of the show. I'll make sure your memberships are squared up by the end of the week. But here's what we're gonna do. For every time on the live we get to 50 likes, we're going to give away a membership. So like, just share this, just tell somebody, just go boom, click the like button. I can see it in real time if I go just look at the YouTube page, but that's just the new housekeeping. And then we'll give away some things as the season goes on. Members will be able to get ticket giveaways to Jaguar games, FSU games, concerts here locally in the Jacksonville area. We got a bunch of stuff, obviously tailgate tickets, a bunch of different things are coming up, but I need those likes, help the algorithm, but also, man, the comments, man. I am loving what people who listen to the show comment, but nothing else gives. Like I told y'all, man, some of these Miami fans and some of these Florida fans, man, they be commenting, man. And this one wasn't bad. I actually have gotten this most of my life, especially when I didn't have hair. But somebody was like, "Who's this Ice Cube looking motherfucker talking?" And I'm like, all right, I'm with you on that one. That was a good one. You got me. So we got that. But again, let's continue to do those different things. Continue to support the channel with your likes, your comments, and stuff. But just a little bit of housekeeping on some things that have happened since the last time we all got a chance to discuss. I went back to coaching football again. Monday was my first practice since I've been with lacrosse. And I have a legit foreigner on my squad. The kid don't speak a lick of fucking English. It is hard to teach a run. Football is broken English 101. But do you know how difficult it is to teach a kid English, football English, in Spanish? But I think there's there was a silver lining in all of this. Don't nobody in Florida that's playing ball for real speak Spanish. So like but even if they do, they don't know what the play means. So like now we got plays like Hefe, which is boss. Like I'm flipping it. But I told him this was the truth. I said, you're gonna learn the 10 important English words if you want to be around me. Two of them are pro and con, which is our basic stuff. And he knew that. But basically, if you've ever seen Major Pain, this was basically my conversation with him. The first, so that video clip that we got, Miles, was my first conversation with him, and he fully understood what I was saying, believe it or not.
I didn't mean to offend you. Do you speak sign language? Can you read lips? Let me break it down. If you don't answer me when I speak to you, I'm gonna put my foot in your ass. Is that clear? I didn't mean.
And one, that movie is so offensive in today's standards, but he understood everything. It is like, we call him little enchilada is his nickname right now, and or salsa or random Spanish words. But he's good. He's getting it. We're putting him in there. Bigger than that, we got a contingent of Mandarin kids that are really, really good. Class of 2025, we got a commit to Florida State, TJ, Tremel Jones Jr. And then we have everybody wants Jamie French. And Jamie was announced on ESPN to be the number 12 player in the nation, not number 12 wide receiver. He's the number 12 overall player in the nation. Kid's really, really good. I think he'll make the right decision. Don't know. We talk about a lot of things a lot. But what I tell people is this, real simple. Jamie, and I got a chance to see, we got this kid, Drake. I didn't know who the fuck Drake was. Drake just transferred in. Everybody's like, we know James gonna get us Drake. I said, I can't get you a kid that I've never met before. But Drake good than the motherfucker. Drake like tall, lanky, can hit. He's a safety. We have an embarrassment of riches. John and AJ are 2024 kids going to Penn State. I would love for them to go to Florida State as well. I vouch for these kids. But we got some cats. But Jamie, Drake, TJ, they're all looking for this one thing. And they want to see, they're concerned with, they know they can go to a school that's going to help them go to the NFL. Their number one concern is, what is life like for a former Florida State player? What is life for a former Penn State player? They get a pretty damn good example of me. But I always tell people, and this isn't a selfish thing, but if you want Jamie to come, you better support and basically do what Rick Ross says. I do this with my friends anyway. I'll be honest with you. Miles got a podcast or something that he posts reels on. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but when they come on my timeline, you know what I do? Push that like button. I don't even gotta listen to it. Just push the like button. If somebody I know is doing something big, I know the algorithm can help them. If I push it, somebody that I fuck with might fuck with them, and that's gonna help them go viral. Don't cost you nothing. But this is what you want. You want Jamie, you want those guys to come to Florida State? Do this for me, and not just me, for all Florida State. Or if your favorite school, do this for your alumni. Do it, Rose, the king of embellishment and luxury rap, does for his friends.
80% of the time when I see my people, I ain't even listening to that shit. I like it. If that's my partner, if that's my homie, and if that's what he on, I'm with it too. I like it. 80% of the time when I see my,
just like it, just push the fucking like button. Like, you already watching it. So right now, YouTube, just go on over there, boom, push the like button. When you, like me, even with Chris with Sporadics, like if I don't catch the alert, man, Chris doing these 1 hour, 2 hour shows, man. I ain't got time for that sometimes. I don't listen to my shit. But if I see it, I'm gonna click that like button, I'm gonna share it. Mark Rogers, every time Mark tags me in something, I like it, share it, even when I'm not on the show. Oh yeah, Tez bought some gear from Tez, even though that shit's dope. I ain't gonna lie, the GOAT gear is dope. But like I bought shit from him. Bobby Bobby sent me something, and Bobby gets mad because I give him critique because he's like Bobby's old enough to be my son. Young enough to be my son, and I'm like, I'm gonna tell him the truth. Like, yo, you're not even whack anymore. Like, you're pretty damn good. Like I shared it. Like, he sent it to me. I shared it. I click on it. Love it. But one thing I do love in all of this stuff, and why the other side of why my kids like Florida State is because they see the cool shit that I get to do. I'm at the Frozen Four covering the Super Bowl up in Indianapolis. I showed them my Marriott Bonvoy. I've got like 65 nights already in this year that I've tallied. A little bit too much traveling, but still, like they're young enough to think that this is the life they want to live. But and then lacrosse messed up two things for me. Lacrosse state championships is always the first weekend in May. The first weekend in May traditionally, well, now is F1, Formula One racing, and they will have one in Miami. Now, fucking Ron DeSantis fucked me over with that. I'm not saying this in a bad way, Ron, but I'm mad because you took my fucking tickets. I'm not mad at you. Don't ban me because I know y'all trying to change the laws where you can't talk bad about politicians. But I just really would have liked to go. Did you have to take? It's going to come a time where you can't talk about Republicans or gay people. Like damn, you're taking away all the good comics material. But Ron took all 5 of the fucking tickets that my homeboy had, and I'm like, man, damn, dog, I need that shit. I don't remember being the Nate P. The Nate might just be sneaking that shit in there. It's $3.99, bro. I don't even know how much the lowest membership. I ain't giving y'all the all in shit. I'm giving you the lowest membership. So Formula One. Yes. Big in Florida. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not even. I don't know. I don't care. It's less. It's not like, so we know NASCAR's kind of redneckish. Yeah. It's the opposite of that. It's wine and cheese crowd. That's why I want to go. Yeah. You got to dress up. You got to be fly. So another event that I would dress up for and be fly for is the fucking Kentucky Derby. I don't know nothing about racing horses, but one thing that I don't want to do is I don't like. I think it's not. It's not the black people. We haven't fucked up the Kentucky Derby yet. But if this is the level of whites that's being allowed in the Kentucky Derby, natty light drinkers, we're a little bit away from having Hennessy, and Hennessy basically impede upon the Kentucky Derby. I don't like going to ghetto or ratchet shit. I did not get into this. Like, my suits, I can't buy off the rack. My body's built weird, like an athlete. Well, not a little fluffier, but hopefully the alpha male thing, I'm going to start being for real and try to get my body back. Either I'm going to be Miles, which is going to take years, or I'm going to be like my cousin, the strength coach, Coleman, which is probably a little bit closer to me. I just got to go lift weights. But I did see there's a gym on the other side. You're going to be the strongest person in the gym with it. Right. Yeah. And that's why I don't lift. The downside of me lifting is like my body literally will adapt to it. And my chest will get bigger, my arms will get bigger, my legs will get bigger. And do you know what that means? None of my shit will fit. And as I was saying, my suits are too expensive with my boy Lathan and my guy Kaz for me to be going out here and getting my collar ruffled. And that's what you're supposed to wear. You're supposed to have your pastel colors on. And look what these I will not call these pilgrims. This pilgrim. Right, so we're about to play it, but the pilgrim stands for a cool white pilgrim. That's why we call cap, cold ass pilgrim. These are not caps. These are the. You're not gonna get me like that radio announcer, even though I don't believe that word is racist. But y'all say that word makes you mad. I'm not gonna call you that. That's what these are though. So like at the clubs when the shootings happen, that ain't black people. Like Chris Rock said, that ain't black people who do them. That's the N-word League Museum, like with the radio announcer. That's what they do. But these are the equivalent of them for pilgrims. But look at what these C's are doing. Look at all this. Nice, dressed up. Got Sperry's going. Look at this guy's coming around. Fathers in the home. They need more fathers in their homes. They need positive male role models. They are learning this in school. Their culture is just savage. All that shit sound real stupid, don't it? Like that's the shit that they like. It's not everybody. It's just them people. But I can't go to Kentucky Derby because if I'm going to fight, I'm gonna get my money's worth. Nothing worse than going to jail for this. Like, go to jail for a good reason. Like, you're going to jail. You're going to have to post bail. Have a cool story about it. Not that I was drinking too much. And then one of the worst things to get hot and sweaty and funky in is a suit. Because the suit keeps the funk in. So, like in jail, you're not finna just when they overnight book you, you don't get to wash your nuts and all that other stuff. And you may be if this is on a Saturday, this is a couple nights. You might not have first appearances until Monday. So like that's the other thing. Like, people who go out to fight on a weekend are some of the worst people in the world. Because you're gonna you may get fucked up, and then the other person who had to fuck you up, life is fucked up because they fucked you up. So now they gotta go to jail, and now we gotta be there for a couple hours. Unless you know people and then you can get stuff going. But bottom line is, this is ratchet shit. But one thing I will say is this, and now we'll move on to the sports. There's a lot of cool shit happening in sports. Is that it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. I don't really necessarily subscribe to that. I think all cool things. Hold on. All cool things happen for a reason, and if it's I want to say this with caution. Certain groups you don't touch. Don't touch the Jewish people, Kyrie. Don't touch the consonants. Republicans are coming after you now. If you say something mean about Republicans, if you look at our laws that are getting made. But I want to tell you this: there are racist jokes that are just borderline absolutely racist. But then there are good ones that make you be like, yo, that's fucking good. So I saw this thing about this white comedian. I don't know his name, but he's funny as fuck. And he skates that line. Schultz does that too. Yeah. Schultz with the blackface one. Have you seen that one? No. Where he says he's like, are there really no good instances where blackface is needed? He says, all right, so imagine we're Navy SEALs. We're going to raid somebody. He's like, he tells the black person, he's like, you, my good friend, are the complexion of night. I, my good friend, am the complexion of the sun. If we're going to raid a place, would you rather me go in or would you rather me blacken my face so that I can blend in with the elements? I was like, you know what? That's not quite blackface, but I get what you're saying, and that's funny. You got to be good. Another guy said, a black man, this is like reparations, and this is what the comedian said. A black man owns a company that sells white privilege cards. It's like a black man sells these cards to people, and it's like, hey, there's my white privilege card. and so this right here, this joke here is great because when Cinco de Mayo came on, I said my name is Juan Carlo Escoban. That was my Spanish name for Cinco de Mayo. Every black person did that. It was cool when we did it. So we gotta accept it. Juneteenth is a national holiday now. I don't give a fuck. I know what Juneteenth means. Don't give a fuck if white people celebrate Juneteenth. I'm not woke like that or one of the people. Like I celebrate every opportunity to grill and drink. Like you could the Mayan Day of the Dead, shit, fucking fry it up, baby. Whatever comes up, we doing that. I'm drinking cold Miller Lite because I think that's the one we can drink now that doesn't. You won't catch the gay if you drink Miller Lite. Whatever, or is it Coors? I don't know which one. Bud, no, it's Bud Light that we can't drink, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was.
Whatever, y'all got me confused. Hennessy doesn't have this problem, but the whites are coming up with some good ones, man. Get you a black name for Juneteenth. I encourage it. I think that shit is hilarious. One of the names, you know, like Tyrone is one of the blackest names I've ever seen in my life. Like, get you one. White girl Grace says she's gonna name Lakeisha. I've never met a white Lakeisha.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Darnell. I'm not even gonna hold you. I've never met a white Darnell. I think y'all should give yourselves a black name. Just, you know, I don't think that's as racist. But speaking of black names and black dominance, NBA playoffs is going on right now, and the evil light skinned empire is crumbling. And I love it. Steph Curry is down, and the Golden Skin Warriors are down 3-1 to the LA Lakers. Miami Heat are beating the New York Knicks 3-1, which is odd. We're gonna get into that one in a second. So that is what we want to get to. And what's cool about it is we've seen a lot of LeBron slander, right, over the years. LeBron James has not had a bad finals, but every time everybody puts the finals losses on who? LeBron James. So now all of a sudden, it's okay to have a good game and lose, and it's not your fault. These people, before the evil light-skinned empire decided to go up against the Lakers, were saying that if Steph Curry wins another NBA championship, is this really the LeBron era? Is this the Curry era? Is Steph Curry really the best? But this is what they were saying before the series. They stopped one day because they won. They went up 1-0, but then when they went up 1-1, they started saying it again. But now you know what the excuses are? Steph's role players aren't playing well enough. Like LeBron didn't take the Cleveland Cavs, and when Kyrie Irving got hurt in that championship against these evil light-skinned motherfuckers, he wasn't playing with the cast of the movie Taken. LeBron James basically went to the YMCA in Cleveland and picked up 5 guys and said, hey, y'all sorry motherfuckers, come with me. I'm going to show everybody how good I am. Steph Curry had a great game, though. Triple-double. But you know what happens when LeBron James has they call it empty stats.
Right.
So now when you say, so what's happening is people are literally using the metrics in which everybody has judged LeBron James to judge the guy that all the LeBron James haters dubbed would be the best player if he beat him. And now you're picking on him, or you're a LeBron stan. That's what they all love to do. I've never seen a group of people more afraid that Michael Jordan is going to lose his relevance than you old motherfuckers and you young people who didn't even watch Space Jams in the movie theater. Why do you love him so much? So what LeBron allowed a team to finally do is pick the people around him. And they put some really good young cats around him. They got a white boy that's cold. They had a dude, Walker, who I ain't never heard of. This motherfucker, like, I'm going to put it in perspective. I think they said Delaney Walker the fourth, scored 29 points in his career in the playoffs. And in the last 2 games, he scored 22. He scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. Was going ham. And Anthony Davis is finally not playing like Mr. Glass. He's playing like the most dominant center in the NBA. And LeBron's doing what he always does. 20 points, 20-something points. He's averaging almost a double-double. And it's crazy now that people believe that when you have supporting cast, you can win. Miami Heat are playing really good ball as well, supporting cast. But where it's getting weird Everybody says Kevin Durant's the best player. Kevin Durant is on the Phoenix Suns. He has Chris Paul, and I forgot the other guy that he has, the other guy's name, but pretty good. But they're down 3-2 to the Denver Nuggets. But now it's KD's not getting the supporting cast. And the one that's really wild to me, because I think their story would have been reminiscent to the Golden Skin Warriors. Because remember, Steve Kerr did not build this team. Mark Jackson built this team. And then Steve Kerr took it to the next level. That's it, Devin Booker. But the Boston Celtics are down 3-2 to the Philadelphia 76ers, who have Joel Embiid, who's the reigning MVP. But the Celtics are really good. They should not be down 3-2. And what's wild is they're making all this, again, the LeBron James excuses don't hold up for this talented team. But I'm not going to get into the basketball part because I didn't watch the Celtics game. I actually just clicked on it. I couldn't believe it. They were in Boston, right? So they got to go back to Philly. If Philly may close them out on tomorrow.
They're going back and forth.
So I've heard that, but this not who that you're blaming the wrong person.
Yeah.
Remember I told y'all the real reason the Golden Skin Empire is going down? It's the same reason the Golden Skin Empire went down the first time when LeBron played. When that bitch Steph Curry's wife got to talking and started getting in the way, that's when they went from 3-1 to losing the NBA championship. If she would have just what was Aisha Curry, if she would have just shut up, we wouldn't have to worry about nothing. But Cameron told y'all why the Golden Skinned Warriors are messing up. Like people say, protect black women, but I'm in a new age now. I'm going to blame black women when they need their blame because the only thing, the accountability in some black women are like kids and vegetables. They don't like it. It's Ice Spice's fault why the Golden Skinned Empire, why the evil light skinned empire is going down. It's always a light-skinned woman that's messing up the light-skinned empire. Now, who is responsible for the Celtics not being good? She's not light-skinned. She is fucking gorgeous. Like, she is timeless gorgeous. But behind every single fine woman, there are thousands of men who are tired of her shit. And one of the things I will never understand, and I wanted to have a conversation with I don't know how to say his name, but the old coach for the Celtics. You destroyed your season because of a woman. Because your coach cheated on Nia Long. That's the reason why you're in this situation. You're not in this situation because your coach can't coach. That guy shouldn't be there in the first place. Ime should be coaching your team. But no, you got rid of him because he decided to cheat on Nia Long. And some personal issue, you let personal issues get in the way of winning games. Welcome to America. One thing we don't teach is history in a proper context. Mike Tyson had this quote that somebody told him. I think he said John F. Kennedy or somebody told him. There are a lot of great men, not John F. Kennedy, the one who got his head turned into a convertible, but like I think the new politician one. There are a lot of great men most great men aren't good men, and there aren't a lot of good men. Great men are the ones who cause change. I got news for you. You want to know who was unfaithful? Well, Malcolm X was faithful, I believe, but Martin Luther King, like if you go read some of the books in the history, like he was an alcoholic. He was known to be a ladies' man, and he beat white prostitutes. He also carried a pistol on him. Like those are things. But again, he's a great man. But if you really look at him, like as you would look, he's not you wouldn't accept that from anybody else. Most women.
Yeah.
But is there a greater man than Martin Luther King? When you look at a lot of the rulers, a lot of the people who've made history, they're great men, but they're not good men. Do you want to win championships or do you want a good man? Because when they hang that banner up, it doesn't say, man, faithful husband, father of four, blah, 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 rah, rah, rah. And Iron Man wasn't even married to her, I don't think. I think they like had like a understand. It was just long term.
I don't understand that at all. What does that even
Now, some people want to say is that he had it was the and there's we haven't heard anything definitive of who he slept with in the organization. Was it the president, the owner's wife, or whatever? But here's the thing. I get it. You're upset about the personal things, but professional sports is a end result business. And if you had him, you would have probably swept the Philadelphia 76ers because the MVP is playing hurt. Like you got it given to you in a bag. But I'm with you. Like people who stand on their morals stand on your morals. But like infidelity isn't a thing. Isn't a deal breaker to me. I'm like women. I'm like women. I always say sex isn't everything. I'm with you. Sex is not everything. Like so, he should not be fired because he decided to go cheat on Elon. But I am curious though. Like, what is it bad? Is it like a sandpaper box? Like, is she just not, or is it just like, because I even Jermaine Dupri, when Janet Jackson married or dated Jermaine Dupri, it really like the choices that some of y'all make really affect me thinking how fine you are. And then I had to think about he cheated on Janet Jackson. Thing couldn't have been as good as what she be singing about. But the thing that I care about the most, and I know more about, is college football. College football season is one step closer. It's the a lot of people are talking about stuff. This year, list Twitter has been a lot better. They're getting more creative. Bud Elliott is who I actually talked about Bud Elliott on Monday's show. Bud Elliott is a very smart dick. Like I like Bud, but like he's a dick at times. He's pretentious. But he does good stuff. And what he did was he took the Vegas odds, and ESPN has a ranking that came out. That schedule, I think that has Florida State in the top 5, but they have Florida State losing like 3 games, which doesn't make any sense. But Bud Elliott's projected regular season AP poll, which the AP poll doesn't come out till week like the end of the season, and just using the current Vegas odds for win total, they have UGA, Bama, Michigan State. I mean, not Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, FSU. And I don't really give a damn about everything else. But actually, no, we'll go FSU, Texas. Vols, Tennessee Volunteers, Texas, LSU, University of Oklahoma, Penn State, University of Oregon, Penn State, University of Southern Cal, Oregon University, or no, I was right. Oregon, or whatever, one of them motherfuckers, UO or OU, whichever one it is, and Clemson. I had to go down to where we saw the next ACC team. And I think this is cool that people are having this again. Go back and check out Sporadic's show where they went and did a breakdown of FSU schedule, and they went, game by game, and he let the fans vote. It's interesting because I do this with the NFL, and tomorrow I'll do an NFL schedule. Well, not tomorrow, probably Friday show. I might do a separate show, but. The NFL schedules are released at 8 p.m. tomorrow. People will be going through, looking at wins, losses, and the different stuff like that. But this is cool that Bud Elliott released that. What's not cool is On 3. On 3 bothers the fuck out of me for some reason. And I think a lot of it is they're trying to make, and actually, no, he's 247, but that motherfucker bothered me too. But Georgia football this is the On 3 tweet. Georgia football has declined its invitation to the White House. And they put a picture of Kirby Smart. So the White House, typically a team wins the national championship. They come to the White House. The president, the most powerful man in the world, gives them a tour, feeds them, and then they have like a celebration of the champs. I'm still to this day mad at Obama because he didn't invite the 2013 national championship team. And then On 3 puts a big picture of Kirby Smart. Georgia football declines a White House invitation in about 25 font, Times Roman. Big, pops out, white letters. You got that? I want people to see how that thing pops out at you. But then if you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, there's these words that are probably really blurry to you right now because it's written in 5. The date suggested is not feasible given the student athlete calendar. It's like, why? Like, you could have you literally got people making this probably political, right, triggering people when you could have just been like, Georgia football declines White House invitation because the dates don't match. That's the tweet. You're gonna get the traction that you want from that.
Hey, you really want to start war?
Just like, and like, the question is like, why? Why did you do that? Like, what is the purpose of this? Why does everybody call me when I'm fucking recording, man? Y'all don't ever answer the phone when I need you to. But my bad, that's just random. I got business calls that when people are when I'm out here doing important shit. But again, the season's getting closer. Tailgate's coming around the corner. A lot of other stuff, and what seems like forever, and I want this to be breaking news. Florida State finally got a 4-star wide receiver to come in. Now, typically, we don't talk about guys like this that have been that's gone this long. But Destin Hill allegedly is now in Florida State's student directory. Destin Hill was a part of the class of 2021, a class where very few of the players are still on Florida State's roster. So Destin Hill, and he was the prize recruit in Mike Norvell's first full recruiting class. I still don't believe it. I will not believe Destin Hill is at Florida State until I see him. There's the hot dog stand right by Strozier Library. Until I see him with a hot dog from the hot dog stand in front of Strozier Library with Chief Osceola and him holding a hot dog in the left hand, one of the freshly squozed lemonades, and Jordan Travis planting a spear into the ground. When I see that picture, or I see him make a play at Florida State, that's when I'll believe that Destin Hill is still on campus. But they're saying he's part of the student directory. They're saying he's there, blah, blah, blah. And it's great. I have no idea what happened to Destin Hill. There's been all kinds of rumors. We used to joke and call him Little Angola because he's from Louisiana. And we were just like, the guy must have we ain't even seen him on social media. The only times I see people just disappear off the face of the earth like that is when they got to go do a brief step. He might not be doing that. I'm happy that he's continuing to press through, that he's going to get his degree, and that Mike Norvell is a true man of his word. But damn, this is just, it's wild that a receiver, like a guy's finally coming in from 2-3 classes away. It's like when I came in, there was a top wide receiver in our recruiting class, guy by the name of Deshaun Platt. I don't know what Deshaun Platt looked like. Don't even know what the fuck happened to Deshaun Platt. He just didn't show up. And he was supposed to be that guy. But whatever the case. But this is kind of one of my favorite movies, Above the Rim. Great movie. Go watch it. We're gonna come out with a list of and I need my white friends to come up with a list of white movies that we must see and white songs that you gotta know if you're gonna like in the culture, right? And I'm going to come up with a list of black movies that you just have to watch at some point if you're an authentic black. Above the Rim is one of those. The Gay Thespian was in that. Tupac, he was actually really, really good playing what most of y'all believe. By the way, I don't know if I said it to you. Tupac raps about selling drugs in his raps. Do you realize he was a drug dealer for 1 week? And his best friend said we were the worst drug dealers on earth. Tupac couldn't sell his crack. Never in the history of crack have I ever heard somebody not be able to sell crack. It's kind of one of those products where the people seek the shit out. But if you can pull up the Destin Hill thing, it should be Palm Beach Post. My boy Post, yeah, this right here. And this is basically what the 2 remaining, I'm overstating this, but the few remaining class of 2021 recruits, when they see Destin Hill finally enter the football This is how they greeted him.
Shepard? Tommy Shepard? Man, I thought you were dead, man. Oh.
But
Tommy Shepard?
streaming deals.
Man, I thought you were dead.
Yeah, I hope to know more about this. I hope to be able to be this bad on my takes and get paid for it. Some of y'all probably already think I'm that bad. But there's this fat guy, Coach Reed. I think Coach Reed is with 247. Sometimes he says some righteous shit. More times than not, he just be out there just freestyling. He said the dumbest thing that I've ever heard in my life in regards to name, image, and likeness. And the premise of it is that two of the biggest, actually the biggest stars potentially for the WNBA, and I've always said that the name, image, and likeness doesn't benefit who you guys think it benefits. Everybody's focused on the football players. Female athletes have the best opportunities when it comes to name, image, and likeness. One, and the reason why I said this is because there's these IG pages for years, Facebook pages, Twitter handles, big bottom basketball babes, stuff like that. And all the perverted men are going to go watch. Look at these girls that we look, you see them performing. You're like, boy, body built ass girl. But then when you see them, you're like, yo, she got some ass. As a player, we saw the girls basketball team and volleyball players dress provocatively, just their uniform in general. Basically, boy shorts and a bra. They got thick bottoms and they tall. We're breeders. But then we would have like the awards banquets, and you'll see them dressed like the basketball team dressed like girls. And you'd be like, yo, I ain't know. One of my, I'll use her name. It's not her per se, but this is just one I remember because we came in this program called Care together. We got named Ganya, and she was like, I'm Nigerian. I'm like, damn, Ganya got some yams. You didn't know that. But Angel Reese, who's pretty, I don't know how to say the other one's name, but they're getting what we perceive to be multi-million-dollar endorsement deal. Angel Reese, we do know, was the highest paid basketball player per NIL, men or women. And now they won the LSU won the national championship. LSU is paying their female athletes. But this is what this guy, Coach Carl Reed, had to say about what he thinks these young women have to say based upon their comments.
Fly Johnson and Angel Reese, stars on LSU's national championship team, have already said they are in no hurry to get to the WNBA. But if you're them, do you ever play in the WNBA? You have music deals, apparel deals. If I'm them, I'm telling the WNBA, no thanks, unless you can guarantee me $3 million a year. They have the ability now to name their price and call their shot. This is the opportunity for you to put the pressure on the WNBA to pay you enough money so you don't have to go to Russia. If I'm Flau'jae Johnson and Angel Reese, I'd never put on basketball shoes again unless they show me the money.
Angel Reese is a sophomore, so she'll be a junior next year. So like what the girls said was they're making enough money to where they don't have to leave. They have options. And I think they will be the next stars. And I think we've done this on the show before where we looked at where the NBA was in comparison to the WNBA based on the time frame. And then when the NBA really became what a lot of us truly like is when Magic Johnson and Bird. Like obviously you had Wilt Chamberlain, you had other players, but Magic Johnson and Larry Bird played each other in a NCAA championship game, which was really, really good. Then they both came to the NBA at the same time. I think you're going to have that now because more people watch the women's tournament than they did the men's tournament. But and I think they should delay it, but to say like their whole worth is based on them playing basketball. Like you're not getting that now they made I think Angel Reese being 6'3" could probably go model afterwards. But the basketball that set them up to be able to get this. And I will say this, being an elite athlete it is always about the money, but it's not about the money. And I can say this as a guy who doesn't do anything that he's not passionate about. There have been people who've offered me a lot of money to do some things that I didn't want to do, and I turned it down because I have options. What Carl Reed is talking about are women who are empowered and have options, who can actually exercise their options to be able to get themselves more. And he's only getting traction because he's with 247. I get one of these streaming deals. I am finding I get a streaming deal. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I got a really good friend. Actually, you know what? I got two people that I talk about on the show, and this is how you know I like them, because I talk about them. I pick on them, but I talk about them. I'm gonna give Sam, who says some of the dumbest shit, some of the dumbest sports takes I've ever heard, and my boy Diddy. I'm gonna get them a camera and a microphone, and I'm gonna put a fucking battery behind them. And because if Carl Reed can do it, goddamn it, anybody can do it. Because it's just every now and then Carl Reed will say something righteous. But for the most part, most of his takes are incomplete like this. And it makes you question how smart a guy he is. And I don't like talking about black men like that, but whatever. But what I really need these deals for is, goddamn, the NFL schedule. Next year I am going to more Jag away games. I'm going to more stuff. I'm going to increase my coverage of the Jaguars because I think the Jaguars, what they're missing is a breath of fresh air when it comes to realistic expectations and discussions. And the Jags, the NFL, who does the best job of extending the season and making everything an event, will have their release schedule come out. Their release schedule shows come out tomorrow. They'll have different players from each team do different things, but they're kind of leaking out information. Adam Schefter put out the NFL's 2024 international schedule. In week 4, the Falcons will play the Jaguars in London. It'll be a Jaguar home game. You know who plays week 5? The Bills have a home game versus the Jacksonville Jaguars in Tottenham. Then the Ravens play the Titans there. The Dolphins play the Chiefs in Frankfurt. Colts play the Patriots in Frankfurt. But the Jags play back-to-back games in Europe. And one of those games happens to fall on FSU's bye week. So we'll more than likely, if stuff happens, we'll be filming the Jaguar. We'll be having a show live from London. I ain't gonna be able to do both weeks because week 5, I think, is when Florida State plays Clemson. No, we play Clemson before the bye week, and then we play a home game, I think, that next week. So I have to be there for that. But have you looked at, if you're looking at plane flights to London, I was just happened to be looking at them because I got a friend who's going to the Beyonce concert. And she was talking about flying first class. She got bread. She's single too, fellas. So if you Nyasha Riley, actually pretty cool. Pretty cool chick. $6,500 first class to London from New York. It's a lot, right? I don't think I'd be flying first class if I got no deal. I looked at the hotel rooms. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go over there. You don't just go on Saturday for the Sunday game. That's a long travel, right? Yeah. The game's is in the afternoon their time, 9:30 9:30 over here. So you go and you're like, all right, I know what I'm gonna do. I'll go for a few days. Let me see what it's like to fly out on Wednesday. You realize there ain't a hotel that's decent? I ain't even talking about 5-star immaculate. I'm talking about decent. That's like 400. It's 400 plus. And I'm talking about for a regular ass room. That's you're talking about a $10,000 trip. Because I haven't added food in there. Which, by the way, I do need somebody because I am the one thing that's making me feel nervous about the Irish trip that I will be taking. Ireland trip where Florida State play opens against Georgia Tech next season. Y'all got to give me where the food and the flavor is because it's for a country that conquered and colonized most of the world due to spices. All their food looks so bland. It looks spiceless. For a country where the Spice Girls originated from, you have no spice. But you've got games, you've got stuff like that that's being leaked out. But the cool thing about the Jaguars schedule is the home slate. Especially if the Jaguars are winning, they will have the biggest home field advantage in the NFL. Because if you haven't been to the bank, like Miles, you got a chance to go to the bank for the playoff. Was it the playoff game, right?
Yeah. That's wow.
That thing is loud, man. It is a college stadium, and it will be filled to capacity. They'll put more state stuff in there. They're gonna make that bread. But my man Demetrius Harvey does a great job covering the Jags. He said the Jags have 8 true home games this year. They play the Titans, the Colts, the Texans, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Panthers, the Chiefs, and the 49ers. 49ers, we don't know who their quarterback is going to be, but they have a tremendous fan base. So you know that game's going to be filled. The Chiefs, you get to see Patrick Mahomes in Jacksonville. I already know my son's going to want to go to that game. So I got to make sure I get him tickets. I need this is where I either going to have to I think I can't lose with this mayor election that's coming up. Tim Deegan works for First Coast News, and that's the weatherman. His wife, Donna Deegan, is running for mayor. She's the Democratic nominee. So I might have to go. Me and Tim were talking. Tim's very cordial. Donna's very nice to me. I have no beef with Donna. I happen to really know Daniel Davis, who's the Republican nominee. I happen to know the Republican mayor right now. He gives me a lot of shit. That's who gave me the tickets to the game. People are like, oh, he hates, like, oh, they're racist. They hate black people. They love my black ass. I don't think, I promise you guys, when they embrace me, the big black guy with dreads that talk shit, trust me, it ain't that they hate black people. They just, it's business in some of the stuff. And it looks bad because the I'm with you. But I'm just saying. All I'm saying is I'm voting for whoever the fuck getting me Titans, Colts, Texans, Ravens, Bengals, Panthers, Chiefs, and 49ers tickets. If you want my vote, you want me to talk good about you, give me access to the tickets and let me have that suite inside ViStar because July 1st, Jeezy's coming in town. I need to be in that suite with Jeezy because I know for a fact that because this is how I know this is Mayor Curry. I forget the politics, so I know it cool. You know what I told Mayor Curry? I said, hey man, I know ain't no white people going to this concert. Can you please give me the tickets? When Jeezy came a year ago, I know y'all not using the box for this one, Mayor Curry. Let me go ahead and get that about you. But those games are going to be amazing. You're going to see the first overall pick, the number 4 overall pick, the number 3 overall pick, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow. You know what that also tells me? That's going to be a lot of coverage for the Jacksonville Jaguars home games. Patrick Mahomes is not going to get played. That's probably the Chiefs and the 49ers because they're coming from the West Coast, the more West are going to probably be 4:00 games, which means there's only 2 4:00 games that gives you tremendous coverage. The Jaguars have a great opportunity to be able to be the talk of the league because Titans, Colts, Texas, Panthers, that should be 4 wins. Four new head coaches, 4 new quarterbacks. No, excuse me. The Titans don't have a new head coach, excuse me, but a new GM. 3 new head coaches, 4 new quarterbacks, and then you've got three vets. 5 new quarterbacks, excuse me, and 3 vets. The Titans will be interesting because of what they're doing. They're probably going to get rid of a rookie quarterback they just got in Malik Willis and probably play Will Levis at some point, who's their 2nd round pick from out of Kentucky, the boy who eats bananas whole. But like, you know, there's going to be a Thursday night game, so that's going to give you prime time. I think we'll get a Monday night game. 2 London games at 9:30. At worst, the Jags are looking at 5 primetime games. Or 5 games where you're going to have the national coverage, or you'll be the talk of the league, which is a really, really different train of thought for the Jags. My homegirl Mia O'Brien, we talk about Demetrius Harvey, put up the Jaguar away games for 2023 that aren't London. The Titans, the Colts, the Texans, the Browns, the Saints, the Buccaneers, and the Steelers. I'm definitely going to Tampa. Definitely going to go back to New Orleans. The furthest west the Jags have to go is Houston. They've been playing on a West Coast swing for a few years now. So basically, you're just bumping the Central Time Zone. You don't like that. That's a good look for the Jags. And then you got Texans, Colts, Texans, Titans, Colts, all teams that you should be able to have that you should be favored with, based upon what your roster is and based on them having turnover, new quarterbacks, new situations, new coaches in some cases. The Browns, even though they have Deshaun Watson, but who knows what that nut ass freak bull is gonna play like. Saints with a new quarterback, Buccaneers with a new quarterback, Steelers not being who the Steelers used to be. Man, listen.
It's gonna be crazy.
Listen. Hey, let me break it down to you guys about the NFL is built on being average. That means there's 17 games. That means going 9-8 or 8-9 is where everybody's going to try to be at. From there, you can go, and if you're 2 games up, basically you win your division at 9-8. Or you can win it at 8-9 too. But if you go 11, would that be 11-6? You can fucking host a home game. 12-5, you might have home field advantage. But I'm gonna go through this again. Titans, Colts, Texans, Browns, Saints, Bucks. None of them really scary anymore. And if you get it going, you might be able to fuck around and get the Steelers. Only games that I would just really like to just go out and say that I couldn't see it at this juncture right now. Ravens, Bengals, Chiefs. Let's just say those are guaranteed losses, right? If I told you last year that the Jags probably should just give up hope in only 3 games next year, you would have called me crazy. Now, I'm not saying I would never pick the Jags to go 14-3. But I'm just saying, like, that's like you don't, like, nobody can really just come up and say that the Jags are a guaranteed victory anymore with the decisions that they made. Great follow here, made by Tim. Go follow Matt Made by 10. Bowl City, anybody with the Bowl City Brigade, like so BCB Couch, your favorite insider's favorite insider at Edilla. Go follow those guys. Those are all great follows if you're a Jaguars fan. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, all against Trevor Lawrence. Those are going to be, when you talk about hype, they're going to be hyping the fuck out of that. AR-15, being from Gainesville, Florida area. Week 4 and 5 in London. I don't really know. Again, that London game is, we're going to talk. Me and Porter going to talk. I might need it. What I may end up doing, I'm actually no. This is what we're going to do. If you are a company and you want to help, I'm gonna look for five to seven sponsors, and we will make unique content for London to the date. And for both those weeks, even though I'll only be there for one, we will release stuff as the weeks go on, and you will be able to get all of that advertisement. It'll be on the channels, on different Facebook things. We'll do that. We're gonna start working on that because that's a haul right there. Isn't really the other thing too? Is it's not even necessarily about the money. You can always make more, but like I be tired as fuck when I be driving. I don't know how some of y'all do it. Like Chris be driving all over to Central Florida and then go do something. Like I drive to Tallahassee. You know what I want? The first thing I want to do, go to sleep.
For real.
Drive to Orlando. What you want to do? We gonna go see the kids Disney World. Nah, y'all go here. I'm going to go to the hotel room and go to sleep. That's why I like investing in good hotel rooms. That's the other scary part is I can't. The $500 for just a normal room. That's a little bit much. I want to be in comfort. Last thing before I end it, and we kind of briefly touched on it as I was joking about Freddie Gibbs. But you don't know who. There's a rapper named Freddie Gibbs. Don't think he's any good, but he ooh, damn! You ever got breaking news and you're just like, man, I can't say that. Shit, it's not fair. It's really good news too about Jaguars too.
You gonna do that to our audience?
So,
This right now.
what about? I can promise you this. Okay, put it like this: the Jags will get a new stadium. I can promise you this: that hiccup that they gave for Lot J ain't doing nothing but costing the taxpayers more money. The only reason that Lot J didn't go through is because y'all don't like Lenny, and I think that's a terrible way to handle politics. Now it's gonna cost us more. He's gonna get every fucking thing he wants because what's never talked about is what happens if they do leave. What's about to happen to Oakland and what's happening with Vegas as they got an embarrassment of riches already. Oakland lost the Raiders to Las Vegas. They're losing the A's to Las Vegas. They lost them before to LA and they ended up coming back. I mean, the Raiders to LA, they ended up coming back, but the studies of what happened when they lost it, common sense will tell you this. Robert Owens said the realest thing. I didn't even catch this right. If I am going to personally go look for Joe Burrow's dad, not Joe Burrow's dad, excuse me, Mahomes' dad. I haven't seen Joe Burrow's dad, but I know I want Patrick. I want to have a beverage with Patrick Mahomes' dad. If we lose, I will personally give him a Trevor Lawrence pack. That's how cool Patrick Mahomes' dad is. That bitch smoking on that Joe Burrow. He just reminds me of my uncles, man. My great uncles. I love that motherfucker. I don't even know. He can be a terrible person. You know what? He's a great man. he might not be a good man, but he's a fucking great man. But back to my point is that the Jaguars at minimum have $500 million. $500 million just with the players alone. Imagine what losing $500 million in your economy. That's taxable. People spending money and those things are that. Buying homes. Imagine what happens when that just completely leaves. Not just the job. That's not including the jobs and everything else. That's why they will bend over and take it in whatever orifice that Shad Khan wants them to take it in.
People don't really know or understand the business behind it. They're just looking who do they trust, and they lost trust.
They lost, yeah, and really just what happened was I read the Lot J deal. It was a really fucking cool deal. 40% was guaranteed of the construction was guaranteed for minority contractors. No, yeah. So one, it had to be local, and 40% had to be black or Hispanic women. But bottom line is minorities don't get looked out for like this.
Right.
That's money that goes directly into the economy because now you have jobs that are coming into this area. That's also money that would have been directly gone to. Excuse me. There was a $20 million. There was basically a tax or something like that that they put back into. They put something in, and the city would have got repaid over time. It would have been the investment that the city gave. But what happened? And you're right, and that's what the political beat writer should have been talking about. That
Right.
as opposed to we don't like Lenny.
Right. Right.
We don't think Lenny's good, and then they'll say shit like, because this is what's gonna happen. And I'm not suggesting that both sides do it. Shit, yeah, all right, whatever. I don't give a fuck about that. But if Donna passes a bill, like if Donna Deegan does it, they're going to give her like all the credit, and rightfully so. If it happens, if she wins, if Daniel Davis wins and Daniel Davis does it, they're just going to say it's more good old boy shit going on. And the reality is, it's just good business. If we would have never had the Jaguars in Jacksonville, then you don't have anything to worry about. Jacksonville would be the same sleepy ass city, actually be worse than what it was when I first moved here back in 2007. You adapt or you die. It's one of the fastest growing cities, one of the best cities for entrepreneurs, one of the best cities that you could possibly live in by tons of things. And I can promise you it's because of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not just them, but what wants to come here because of them. Other industry wants to come in town because of this. You think we got the Amazon thing out there by the airport because Jacksonville is just a great city? No. They see other big businesses. And so like that's just, what's this paragraph that's right here? Is that an article?
Oh no, it said, bro, you want to make good money quick and legit as a minority, pair up with a general contractor. He pays to start a separate contractor up, which you run and big jobs and subcontract to him.
Mm-hmm.
Pair me up then, Mike.
He's not lying. You know, the best example of this, if you watch Power, right? The movie Power, not movie Power, the TV show Power, I believe it was season 2. Ghost had a club, and then there was a white guy came in, and he wanted to buy into the club, but he wanted to buy into the club just enough to where Ghost was still the majority owner, but he was the face. Okay. But because he would be eligible for things because he has a minority. Whereas Ghost thought it was going to be a 50-50 partnership, a true partnership. It wasn't. It was only a partnership in name only because he needed Ghost for the other deals. Now, that's basically kind of what he's describing. If you really don't care and you just really have the investments and the money, then that helps you. But I didn't even mean to get into all that. But bottom line is it's good for the local colleges. A lot of Shad Khan is really good for the local colleges. I'll say that. Because he's wanted to build another indoor practice facility. He was wanting to do a whole bunch of other stuff. But it might bring us another football team to the state of Florida in college if this happens. But what I was getting into was my hatred of this Ebony Williams. Mike is right though. Like, because there's a logistics hub. You do but Jacksonville's always had that. You're on a river, two rivers come here. You have the ocean, big enough airport. We have the first thing, like you're the first city in Florida. Technically, I think what Yulee is, but whatever, semantics. But a lot of stuff like that. But did we talk about the bus? We didn't talk about the bus driver thing, did we? So, you know what? I'm not going to make this about her. I'm going to make this about what I think I'm going to do for my personal YouTube page is I'm going to critique relationship podcasts.
Yes.
One thing I've been learning about these relationship podcasts is I don't believe any of these men on either side, the simping ones or the pimping ones. are getting were I believe they're getting it now because women happen to like attention and pseudo fame and money. Money, you can purchase whatever you want. None of these men got pussy before they ever had this podcast. And all these women who are doing these podcasts, I believe they had bad vagina and they use teeth when they give it. And they have poor hygiene. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of, they can still hear me though, right?
Yeah.
A lot of this shit that they're saying makes me believe they actually hate people. They hate the opposite sex. And, you know, you got to pay for all the bills. Like, I'm sorry. TK Kirkland gave the best advice. I'm either going to pay for all the bills or I'm going to be faithful. I'm not going to do both. And if you're a single independent woman that don't need a man for shit, that means you're paying 100% of the bills. If somebody comes and offers you 10%, offers you 20%, you know what you're going to do if you're really independent and really doing that shit by yourself? You're going to take it because that's a burden off of you. Also, I don't believe you can't say you're a strong woman, but then at every aspect say how you're living in a misogynistic culture. There are aspects, as I talked about with everything, where there is racism, there is misogyny, there are things that you cannot go away from. But some of this shit is just borderline psychotic and borderline just really perpetuating a lot of bullshit that's really fucking up our society. That's why I'm starting to say I want to ban social media. One, my son found Christ through social media. I didn't want to introduce him to him that quick, so fuck social media. And then two, I don't want him listening to these jokers talking about how to bag a bad bitch. The only person I actually will let him listen to, and y'all gonna hate me for this, I actually like Andrew Tate. I actually like Andrew Tate. Like Andrew Tate says some, like Andrew Tate might go over the top on some things, but I think like he ain't really saying nothing bad. He just wants men to be men. And I do want my son to be a man. And this isn't an Andrew Tate quote. This is a Carmen Angela Adams quote. There will never not be a time in history where a masculine man would not be attractive. She's like, you can do all that. We would not be singing Boys to Men songs. And I would not have him being that guy. Neither one of them. But on that note, appreciate you guys chopping up with me. We did not get to 50. We got 30 likes. Pretty cool. Just trying to continue to keep the traffic going, man. Any ideas and stuff that you guys want to see with this upcoming football season? Would love to get ideas, bounce them off, hit the DMs with comments. We have the tailgates. We have all this different stuff. Again, the biggest thing that I would love for anybody to do, consider being a member. You don't have to be a member, but if you consider it, that'd be dope. Support, but that subscription, that subscribe button, and a share and consistent likes will always go a long way with me, man. So I appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. We will see you guys next time.